In this video, I'm going to be showing you just how easy it is to get through the Moons of Peril and start earning some pretty decent GP for a mid-game player. This is a great boss for getting into PVM. Mechanics are rewarding to get right, but not super punishing. You'll get wiped if you mess up. I'll be uploading a guide for all of the combat achievements once I've completed them, so make sure to subscribe if you're interested in that. Once you've completed the quest, you should have a rough idea of what you're doing, as you'll have one kill count already, but I'll be taking you through the most efficient route and explaining all the mechanics in depth. First off, you can prep at the bank outside. Melee gear is the go-to for these bosses. I recommend weapons of dragon tier or above to get reasonable damage. The bosses have weaknesses to different attack styles, so you can bring multiple different weapon types if you like, but it's not necessary. Barrows armor like Thorax will be my set of choice to resist the damage from the bosses. Don't worry about bringing any food or potions, as we'll sort that out in the cave shortly. Maybe bring an emergency teleport just in case. Go through the main entrance hall and enter the northeast entrance to the stream-bound cavern. Stop off at the supply crate to pick up some essential tools for fishing, hunting and herb lore, and start by making some moonlight potions from the grubs you pick from the bush. If you need more vials, you can take more from the herb lore supply crate. Make yourself 4 potions to start with just in case. This should be more than enough to get through one run of all 3 bosses. The potions are basically a super combat potion and a prayer potion at the same time, which is pretty sweet. Then fill up the rest of your inventory with the bream from the fishing spot or catch a few lizards. You'll get multiple bits of food from cooking one lizard, so bear that in mind. Once your inventory is full, enter the southern gateway to tackle your first boss, the Eclipse Moon. As with all 3 of these bosses, you'll need to stick on the highlighted tiles that move around after 2 of the boss's attacks. Be aware that taking damage reduces your accuracy. After 3 rotations of his regular attacks, he will enter one of 2 special attack phases. This time he's gone for his teleporting phase. Simply click on the shadow below the enemy that's phased in to face them. This will protect yourself and deal return damage. Your weapon speed doesn't matter here, so bringing slow heavy weapons can be great for DPS if you have something you can switch to. After 12 attacks, he's back to his regular attack phase, following the light round once more. And after another cycle, you'll be faced with his second special attack. This time, you'll need to stick behind the orb that appears. I do this by clicking twice with my run on, once halfway and then once to the end of the square. Do this all the way around and you'll be back on the regular attack cycle to finish him off. Once this boss is clear, you'll be teleported to the Earthbound Cavern. Enter the room to your east and tackle the next moon, the Blue Moon. The circles work exactly the same way, so stay in the light and keep moving round. He's done the tornado phase, so you'll need to run and extinguish the fires or the boss will heal up. If you hit a tornado, your run will turn off and you'll take damage, so make sure to turn it back on. Once both fires are out, run to the middle where it's safe. Follow the circles around again after this phase. You'll take more damage if you aren't in the circles, and the more damage you take, the more your weapon speed is slowed by this boss. So try and be as precise with the movement timings as possible. After a few rounds, the second phase will move in. The boss will encase your weapon in ice, and you need to attack the block with it in, identified by the glowing circle behind the ice block. You also need to move out of the way of spikes that come out the ground. Again, once you're done, stand in the middle to avoid any more spikes. Once the special attack phase is over, finish him off. You'll be teleported out again, this time to the ancient prison. You can restore your run energy by drinking a cup of tea from the range. Enter the northern entrance to tackle the final moon, the Blood Moon. The Blood Moon is arguably the hardest of the 3. I've spawned in during the jaguar phase. You need to click back on the pool of blood to avoid the jaguar's attacks. If you do this too early, the blood will damage you, and if you do it too late, the jaguar will hit you. All damage taken heals the boss, but if you damage the jaguar, you get healed a percentage of your damage. Once this phase is over, you'll be going back around in a circle until you reach the blood pool phase. You'll simply have to avoid the pools on the floor, rinse and repeat these techniques, and eventually you'll finish him off. This one can take a little longer due to the boss's healing abilities. Once the Blood Moon is dead, you'll be teleported out one final time. Treat yourself to another cup of tea to restore your run energy, and you'll finally need to head south to enter the rewards chamber, where you'll roll on the drop table for items depending on how many of the moons you've successfully killed. This dungeon will loop you back round to the start, and you can just keep looping like this, gathering supplies as you need them and depositing your rewards straight to the bank from the reward chest interface. Once you get the pattern going, you'll be running laps of this place and filling up that bank with valuable weapons and armor pieces in no time. I've gone through a bit of this already in my previous video, talking about why Perilous Moons is a great piece of content for the mid-game player, so check that out if you want to know why you should be doing this epic content. As always, a like, comment and subscribe massively helps the channel, so if you've enjoyed the video or found any of the information useful, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.